Hello, time for another tutorial. We're going to make a trumpet this time. So this is the solid design section of tutorials. It's the second tutorial, creating features from sketches. There's one activity where we make this trumpet. All right, I'm going to move this off to the side. And activity one, the only activity, is making this trumpet. So the first thing, go to the data panel, go to home if you're not there already, go to basic training, double click it, go to modeling, double click that, double click trumpet. It opens that as a read-only file. You could save it if you wanted to, but you know, it's not that, this isn't that complicated, not really necessary to save it. Doesn't take too long to do this one. All right, the first thing, it's kind of interesting to see what we got here. It's a bunch of curves in space here, and they're not all in one plane. There's several planes going on, and if you go expand this construction in the browser and click these little eyeballs, you can see all of these funky little planes. So first they made these planes and arranged them all, and then they used the planes to draw these sketches. Okay, so I'll turn those off. And yeah, so there's 12 different little sketches. And how many planes? 7 planes. So some are probably on planes, or some probably connect planes together. Anyway, that's that. Okay, the first thing we're going to do is a sweep. So get in here, zoom in here, and collect this, or select this profile. You can right click on the canvas and select extrude. No, we don't. We want to go to, we have to go to create and sweep. I don't know what I said before, but we want to do a sweep. Okay, then the profile is this green. Yeah, that's a profile. Then the path, we need to select the path first and then the guide rail. So click the select button, click this green line, and then zoom out, hold down shift, and select this second section of line. So we want all of that stuff. Then go to the guide rail, click the select button, and click this button, or this line, and then hold down shift and this line, hold down shift and this line, and there you go. That's what it's going to look like when we're done. I was curious what distance is, and it's how much of the thing. I guess it's a value between 0 and 1. Like if it were 95%, it would stop there. If it were 98%, it would go out to there. So anyway, might be useful. Anyway, we want 1. And then just, I didn't play with these other things, but click OK. There's that. Okay, then we want to grab these 3 profiles, hold down shift and click these 3 profiles, right click in the canvas, select extrude, drag this up. I think it was 185 was the number, I think. Let me check that real quick. Yes, and then the operation switches to cut, I guess because it passes through some other surfaces, but we don't want to cut, we want to join. So switch the operation to join and then click OK. Okay, then we need to cut out the keys, so we get into the sketches, turn on the visibility for sketch. What sketch is it? Yeah, it's sketch. It's these 3 little profiles on the top. So I messed up. I didn't do this last extrusion. I didn't make it long enough. And I could undo and fix it, but I'm gonna use the parameters just to show you that. So down in the history button, I can tell that that's these 3 cylinders are extrusion 11, so I can go up to modify, change parameters, so expand extrusion 11, and where it says 180, I should have done 185. Okay, great. So those are long enough now. Now I want these profiles inside here. I have to hold down Shift and then click and hold to get this menu. Then select profile, and then still holding down Shift, click and hold, select profile, hold. So I'm still holding down Shift. I want to mouse click and hold to get this menu. I get profile. Right, those 3 things I can right click out here in the canvas, select extrude, drag this thing down -20, and the operation is cut, which is what I want, so select OK, and I get this thing. Right, then lastly we want to do a revolve, so select this profile in here, go up to create, revolve, and the axis we want to select is this line down the middle, and then the default operation is join. I don't see why join wouldn't be okay, but they want you to change this to new body, and that does sort of fix this edge, which is a little rough on mine. I don't know if that has anything to do with the operation, but anyway, they do want you to do new body. Click OK, and I think we're done. That's it. We can look down the tube there, and that sort of looks like a trumpet. Kinda. I think it needs a couple more tubes if it were a real trumpet, and it's a little thick on the end, but anyway, those were sweep and revolve commands. All right. We could, we could get into some of these sketches and edit them, and I mean, just for fun, we could, I don't know, there's a lot of constraints on here. I might not be able to move anything. I'm not, yeah, I don't know. In theory, you could adjust these, but I think they've said that the constraints, they might have even locked some of them or fixed some of them. But in theory, you could change the design by changing these underlying sketch dimensions. All right, I hope that was helpful for you. Thanks.